Hi, I recently started developing a game, which is something I've been thinking about doing for quite a while now. I thought I'd document the process just so I had some record of all of the decisions I made, and also if anyone else found it interesting, because it's a process I've really enjoyed, and I know that one of the things that really helped me get started was watching other devlogs on YouTube. So if I can also be inspiring to someone else, then that kind of felt like a nice thing to try and do. And also I figured since I was so early on in the development process, it made sense to start now before I got too far in. So this is just the first in hopefully a very long series of devlogs. I'm using Unity, which I've never used before starting this project. I have some experience with C#, so that's made that kind of a bit easier to get into, but never used Unity before, never used Blender or anything else, so I'm learning this as I go along. I'm not going to get too heavily into the coding aspect in this video. This is more about the inspiration and how the idea of my game came to be, as opposed to the actual technicalities of programming a game. This video I wanted to be more about the inspiration because I had so many ideas kind of flying around in my head for this game before I started, and it was quite hard to take everything that I wanted it to be and kind of scope it down into something that I thought was achievable, but also would actually be a fun game. I'd say my main inspirations were probably Minecraft and Ark Survival Evolved. Minecraft from the kind of building and exploration side, and then Ark for far more the creatures and dinosaurs in kind of the gameplay that they bring. My plan is to make an open world procedurally generated building and exploration game with dragons and other slightly magical creatures. I've also recently finished watching House of the Dragon, which I love, and the dragons in that are just so cool. Every time I finished an episode, I'd immediately go on YouTube and try and find clips. Any game that I make is definitely going to have to include those. Once I'd got the gameplay ideas for my game, I then started thinking about inspiration and the designs and the kind of aesthetic I wanted to go for. I wanted to evoke a similar kind of feeling to Studio Ghibli movies, which I absolutely love. I think the way that they combine these really strange and surreal environments and characters with something that feels so homely and familiar, I think it's a really comforting feeling that would make for a really fun game. So I want to bring those kind of vibes to the game, as well as the gameplay from Ark and Minecraft. And at this point I started using the Bing AI to generate some images, just to see if the ideas I had in my head actually looked any good. I know that using AI is sometimes a bit controversial, but I feel since it's so early on in the development process, and I have no artistic ability whatsoever, I didn't feel too bad about using it. If my game gets to the stage where I need proper artwork, then I won't be using AI, because it's not that great, but it was good for the moment. At this point I've gone over most of the techniques I used to find inspiration for my game, starting with other games that I enjoy playing, taking gameplay elements from them and trying to combine them in new interesting ways, and then also taking inspiration from TV and films that I really enjoy that give me the kind of feelings that I want players to have when they're immersed in my game. I'd also really recommend using some kind of image generation software, or if you're an artist yourself, then certainly sketching out some ideas just so you can get an idea of what these thoughts that you've been having in your head actually look like on a piece of paper or on a screen. Hopefully this helps if you've been struggling to find inspiration for your own game. I'd highly recommend those devlog channels that I showed at the start of the video. They were a great help for me as well. That's all from me. If you have any feedback, I'd be really interested to hear it. I'm very new to game development and YouTube, so any advice would be incredibly helpful. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you have a nice day.